Doesn't connect very well, but hey guys, it's Zach, and well, I'm gonna go over this Bushmaster kind of thing. I don't know. I just thought I don't like certain things that are going on when a new gun hits the market. Bushmaster AR-15. It doesn't make any sense to me to give the gun to dealers and it's not the same gun you're going to sell as a dealer. They do reviews on this weapon, and then it goes to other people, like what you're looking at. And yeah, his channel, I like his channel, but what sucks for him, because it's not his fault, he's doing a Bushmaster review, but it's not the Bushmaster that's up for sale. I've been looking at that Bushmaster for at least 2 months. I've just been looking at it going, before, you know, what you're looking at even had it in his hands, I was looking at Airsoft Station a long time ago, looking through all their guns. I do this all the time. I look through everything so I can get a price match. Best Buy, that's what I'm looking. I'm looking at the Best Buy, the best price, the best you're going to get somewhere, and at the same time not try to get screwed over with the dealer that you're buying it from. Well, or I guess you could say retail or whatever. I'm looking at the Bushmaster AR-15, and the stock is different, which makes the front of the handguard different. And anytime they do a dramatic change like this, it usually goes to mean that there are other parts that are going to be changed out in the gearbox. And to say also that it might be manufactured by ICS, the fact is, if ICS just manufactures it, it doesn't mean that it's a real ICS product. And first off, it's being manufactured by Crossman Corporation. And I think that's a problem with why the price is the way it is. It doesn't make sense to me, because at first I was like, you know, if it's really made by ICS, I'll go ahead and buy it. But as a gun that I would want to, you know, buy, pimp out, and then maybe sell it to somebody else, I don't think it's going to be worth it, because to have it in a collection, I'm just like, no. I would rather buy a different gun similar to like my first gun. Let me talk about my first gun here. This is the G&G GR16 Carbine AEG with blowback. And as you can see, it does have the functional charging handle and the little fake bolt that goes back and forth for the blowback. And you can get the adjustable hop up and so forth. But these internals and exterior work is going to be better than that Bushmaster. I'm very positive. And guess what? I paid 180 bucks for this. This is a GR type. It's going to be high quality compared for the price. It's not a combat machine. And when you look at it, it's like the battery that goes in this gun, I can put a 12 volt. I mean, you have lots of freaking space. It's easy just to put it in here on this side or on this side. You don't even have to cram it in there. It's so much space. You got so much more space, and you just put it up in there. I do it very quickly, very easily, and this is on there solid. This is on there solid. This whole thing is solid, except for the wobbly little bit of wobble in the stock. But I mean, from the beginning to the end, it's solid. It's like a rod that goes from there to there, and that's what it's supposed to feel like when you grab a gun. You don't want it to feel all wobbly. Trust me, your hand guards all, yeah. But this kind of plastic doesn't scratch very easily. The paint's on there really well bonded, and I'm watching on Airsoft GI. The Bushmasters badly, like you can see spots that just blemishes, scratch marks, and everything. Maybe if they're throwing their gun around or something, but this has been in at least, I don't know, 6 different hands. I've had people, you know, borrow this for when we go out to play, and you just do not see anything wrong with the paint. The paint is still there. The dirt, I've kind of washed it off, but it's still somewhat in the cracks of places. I don't mean crack on the gun. There's no crack externally, but I mean like, you know, there's a little hole here or there. Crack could be like in here, that spot. But let me just clarify that, because there is nothing there. And not even to mention that, the body fits so tight around this. The upper receiver and the bottom receiver are so tightly knit. You can't see the gearbox in this gun. This gun is very well made for the price. It just kind of blows me away, because anytime you're looking at, you know, a gun, you're thinking about, well, it's going to have multiple problems. There's always some kind of problem. This gun, the only real problem I could find with it is the selector switch. A minor problem would be the motor, because it's a little hot, but you can still use this gun so much more than what you're paying for. I'm used to use it so much, and it still works fine. I mean, I've been putting a 12 volt in this for the last 6 months that I've had it. So when I first started, there's been 12 volt in this thing, and it's just, it still kicks ass basically with the 12 volt. I mean, that's, how else can you say? It's got 12 volt. But the whole point of it is, this is less dollars. Retail, this is better to get in your hands. I mean, if you really want something that looks unique, like a Bushmaster, what I would suggest, if you have the money, I'd get something that's nicer, maybe this metal, and then just buy the Bushmaster rail that's brand new from the actual gun, Bushmaster, and put it on the gun. And then you have just a badass airsoft gun that nobody has. It's much higher quality than a Crosman. Of course, it's going to cost a lot more money, but I mean, if you really want a Bushmaster that bad and you don't want to buy a Crosman, you're going to do that. But if I was going to trade this in for that Bushmaster, heck no. Right now, I'm already going to tell you, I doubt the Crosman is going to have as thick plastic as this does. And I mean, this is good externals. I'm not going to even, you know, go argue with it. I would just say that a Bushmaster does look awesome. That's why I looked at it. That's why I was considering it. I was going, But I'm not going to buy something for the same price, made from a worse company. I want to get it from a better company. Plus, it's got blowback. Plus, I know the external and the internals is good. I mean, am I going to be able to run that Bushmaster with a 12 volt for as long as I've been running this, and put it in other people's hands and expect it to come back to me just like this? Probably not. I mean, these guns, I'm sure the dealers are not showing them differently when you go to buy. It's the gun that they're showing. And I don't mean that they have something to hide. It's really just asinine. Yes, the word asinine, even if it's a word. For me to make something, manufacture it, give it to a dealer, it's almost like a prototype. Here, show it, review it. Oh, guess what? I'm sorry, we didn't make it with that stock or that same rail system that you had previously, the Bushmaster system rail. We decided, you know, the battery's going to go in stock, and are we going to sell the two different versions? Because it hasn't been up there on Airsoft Station since I've ever seen it 2 months ago. Only the one with the stock. And I kept looking at it and going, you know, it looks really badass. I would buy it for that reason, but I'm not going to buy it if it's not a good brand and I don't get good externals and good internals for the price. So $180-ish for a good GR16 type. You bet this is awesome. I mean, you could just take this right here, change the front, and you know, you could get a shorter version barrel. It's just, it doesn't make any sense, okay? You're gonna pay $199, and this is what I would spend it on right here. That's just it. I mean, it's got swivels, swivel piece up here that you can attach, you know, a sling to. Got one back here. It's all screwed in hard. I mean, I barely could even say anything bad about it. There's always really good things to say about this gun. Putting in the magazine, it's stiff locks, which is very good. It's in there. It's a very little light wobbly. Like I said, you can't see the gearbox. The charging handle is definitely in good condition. The roll pins in it are in there really nicely. The back of the stock is pretty thick on some of the stock. The buffer tube is very straight. It stays on there better than my deep fire. And the threads on it are really nice. You could just tell when you hold the gun, it's solid. You're like, wow. And the grip is really nice. I like this texture. You can see it's got a texturized grip. And the stock has texture here and here. And so you can see this is worth its money. This is worth its money right here. To take this out, you hit this pin over here. This actually can fold. And I mean, it's very get into very easily. But like I said, the main issues are the selector switch. I didn't even talk about the selector switch. When you turn the selector switch, I'm very positive I know what the problem is, but I haven't taken the time to mess with it. When you're in safe, you're fine. It's when you switch from safe it starts to cause problems. Sometimes when you switch from safe to semi, it really doesn't go semi, it stays safe. Sometimes you switch from safe to or from semi back to safe, and the gun is an automatic still on safe. So don't have your finger near the trigger. I've always known that before. You never put your finger near the trigger and trust the safety on it, because there could be a malfunction in your gun. So, but what I think is happening, because usually I just switch back. I just go semi-safe, or I switch all the way to auto, back to safe, and it works after that. But what I'm pretty sure is happening is, because I've looked at the gearbox on another one, the wires inside are really close by there, and I'm assuming that every once in a while as it hits, it rubs up against there, and it doesn't make its full click because it's getting to the point where it can't make it. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the problem is, because you know it's not happening all the time. It's happening every once in a while. So right now I still can't pull it. There's pulling. Still can't pull it. Pull for single. I mean, it's pretty rare that it happens, but it does happen. So that's really not that big of an issue. If that's what the real problem is, you get in there, you move those wires, and you're in good condition for anything here. But I love the paint job on this, the finish on it. Oh, I gotta say, it is really good finish. And we got tight delta rings. Delta ring is on there really tight. And that's pretty much all there is to be said about this gun. I mean, why wouldn't you want a gun like this over a Bushmaster? I would take this any day. And then you put, you know, you want to change it maybe, you change the rail. But it's one of my first guns, and to compare it with the Bushmaster, I would say, sorry Bushmaster, I'm not going to buy you. It just doesn't work that way. And I think the dealers need to realize, if they're going to sell what they're selling, make sure that they review exactly what they're reviewing, because they can review and it could be a real prototype, and then when the real gun comes out, it's not like what they reviewed. Someone opens up the stock, that's where you put the battery. The review says it goes in the handguard. Oh, the battery barely fits in the stock. They put it in the buffer tube. It cuts my wires. Now I have a new problem that wasn't discussed in the review. Exactly the reason why I think the dealer should look at it and say, hey man, review the gun that you're selling exactly. Not the kind that they first give you before they sell you your shipment. So, that's pretty much all this video is about, and I think it's just bad on their part. If you're going, like, for I don't know how else to say it, you just say straightforward, it's bad. Just don't do it. And Airsoft Station, if you're really going to send it like that to what you're looking at, and you're not going to give him the exact gun that you're going to sell, that's bad for you. That's not bad for him, because I still trust the guy. I still look at the guy and go, well, he's just reviewing what they gave him. That's it. I mean, that's their fault if they're not going to sit there and review the exact gun they're going to sell. So, I guess I'll catch you guys later. I just thought that you know, maybe I should have said something about that. Maybe why I won't get a Bushmaster, because it's got that little Crossman Corporation on there, and that does deter me right away, considering that, you know, I've looked at a lot of rifles, and right away, if it doesn't have the good externals and the good internals, I walk away. That's how fast I just go. I'm sorry. You know, maybe if someone shows the inside of that gun and it blows me away at how good it is, but I saw those airsoft GI videos and it had blemishes on the weapon, and this doesn't have those blemishes. The guns that I get from G&G ICS, they're not blemished like that. They have to actually be messed up like someone messed them before they ship it to you. So I'll catch you guys later, bump you with a fist, and we'll talk some more airsoft later.